Okay, so here, as I said, like we are learning about uh, Arjun Marshal Singh, who was the military highest officer in Air Force, right? On August 1, 1964, in the rank of Air Marshal, the Marshal of the Air Force, Arjun Singh took over power or Indian Air Force. So which means in 1st August 1964 he took the charge of whole Air Force Department, Indian Air Force Department, at a time when it was still rebuilding itself and was gearing up to meet new challenges. Which means at that time this department was very new, and because of him he had took the charge, he had took the responsibility of whole Indian Air Force Department. Singh was first air chief to keep his flying currency to keep his flying currency till his CAS rank. So chief of the air staff rank. So Arjun Singh was the first air chief person who was flying currency, date skill experience of flying aircraft. So he was the only officer in as a chief of Air Force officer who who had who had updated his skills of flying a aircraft, having flown over 60 different types of aircraft, having flown a 60 different types of aircraft from pre World War II era, biplanes to the more contemporary. So he is the only one person who had flown a different types of planes like biplanes, Janards, and vampires. He has also flown in transport aircraft. He had also flown in transport aircraft, and which is really really unique thing. And vampires and aircraft like Super Constellation, which means he is the person who had flown a different types of aircraft. In 1965, when Pakistan launched its Operation Grand Slam with an armored thrust targeted at vital town of Akhnur. So when in 1965 there was a Pakistan have tried to attempt a war in Akhnur, and Arjun Singh at that time he was leading Indian Air Force through the war with courage, determination, and professional skills. So in front of Pakistan also he had fighted back as a leading with a courage, with a determination, with a professional, and he inspired Indian Air Force to victory. He inspired the whole Indian Air Force to the victory despite the constraints imposed on full scale use of Air Force combat power, which means that Marshal Arjun Singh had inspired the whole department, right? Marshal Arjun Singh had inspired had inspired the whole Indian Air Force because of his determination, because of his professional, because of his skills. We can say that Marshal Arjun Singh was the person who was very dedicated towards his work. Arjun Singh was awarded Padma Vibhushan for his sharp and intelligent leadership of the Air Force during the war. So, Marshal Arjun Singh got the very highest civilian award, Padma Vibhushan, for his intelligent work, what he had done during the war. Subsequently, in recognition of the Air Force contribution during the war, the rank of the Chief of Air Staff was upgraded and Arjun Singh became the first Air Chief Marshal of the Indian Air Force, which means that Marshal Arjun Singh, he was the Chief of Air Staff, and that post had changed, and that post name became the Chief of Air Marshal, and he was the first person who had reached to this level. We can say that Arjun Singh got highest civilian award. He remained a flyer to the end of his tenure in Indian Air Force. So he remained a very big flyer. He was a flyer end of his time, like end of the retirement. He became the flyer and visiting forward bases and units and flying with the squadrons. He retired in August 1969, thereupon accepting ambassadorship to Switzerland. He was Lieutenant Governor of Delhi. In 1969, he retired, and after retirement, he became the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi from December 1939 to December 1990. Okay, which means end of his retirement, he was a flyer, and after his retirement, he became the Lieutenant Governor from 19 from December 1989 to 1991 year. Having been a source of inspiration to all the personnel of armed force through the years. So he was the very source of inspiration to the all military department through the years. The government conferred the rank of Marshal of the Air Force upon Arjun Singh in January 2002, making him the first and the only five-star rank officer with Indian Air Force. So, making him the first and the only five-star rank officer with Indian Air Force, which means the government was, and he became the source of inspiration to everyone, and the government also respected his post, and he was the first and only five-star Chief Air Force Marshal till now. No one had reached to his position where he was. So here you will think that like why you are learning this lesson. This lesson is added in your book because you should realize that how the one person can do many things in this life, in this world, and inspired a lot of people around the world. So Arjun Singh is the one of the inspiration for all of us. Right. Okay, so this is the one of the important thing you should be realized. So thanks for listening me in this whole chapter. I'm just summarizing in few minutes. In this whole chapter, Marshal Arjun Singh had done his great work where he was, and whichever tenure he had given to the Air Force Department, he was number one. So thanks for listening me.